Now, this research was done by the campaign group, the Taxpayers Alliance. John O'Connell is its chief executive, joins me now. What sort of work do these people actually do, Mr. O'Connell? Good morning.
Good morning to you. Thanks, Nick, for having me. Well, a lot of the work can stem from the Equality Act 2010. This is the regulations that are placed upon public sector institutions to implement the requirements of the Equality Act 2010. And what you tend to find is that different public sector institutions treat that with different levels of, importance. So in some instances, some public sector institutions will hire whole teams of staff, and in other instances, some public sector institutions won't hire that many, and they'll just add it into people's existing roles. So you see quite a bit of disparity across different institutions in the public sector in dealing with the Equality Act 2010. But what it does tend to do is it tends to take focus away from the core service that's intended to be provided in the first place. And in prisons, we see a lot of issues to do with drugs in prison, violence, not enough staff on the wings relative to the number of prisoners. So, every penny and every moment spent looking at issues that aren't necessarily core priorities is pennies taken away from the frontline service that we're originally trying to provide.
Do we have any sense of the sort of salaries some of these folk might get?
It can range. There are some junior salaries, but it can go up to somewhere around the 60,000 mark in prisons. Of course, we see elsewhere in the public sector that can reach into six figures, particularly in the NHS and at local authority level. But at prison level, our investigation shows it's around the 60,000 mark for the top end, but there are some more junior staff as well. But again, it's £11 million, and £11 million in the scheme of public spending might not seem a lot, but lots of small savings can become a big saving overall. And then, if you look at the amount of tax that we're paying in a minute, we're under a 70-year high tax burden, and we're not getting the world-class services that we deserve.